Good evening, guys. So, I am shooting this video from not so sunny California. It's actually a bit colder than Canada here, which is not so great. But just wanted to do a quick market update. I know I'm a bit behind on these videos. Gonna look at pretty much all these coins on my watch list. We'll check out Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. And yeah, I'll try to keep this pretty short because I don't want to waste too much time. So let's just kind of take a look real quick. We're going to use the wick strategy, right? We're going to draw the boxes. So we're going to take these guys and just draw it across, right? And all I'm trying to do is simply get as many of these upside wicks as I can. And if you guys look, it's going to coincide nicely, right? There's our resistance, right? We can see this area has pretty much just been giga resistance, right? And then we can draw kind of our support box here. It's not going to be perfect because they did just kind of fill this completely and then just send it back up. But I mean, for the most part, you can get a pretty accurate assessment just based on this. And what I want to do is kind of show you guys what I think the state of the market is. So we're kind of in a peculiar spot. So if we look at this chart, right, we're in a pretty large range. You know, we broke down from this level up here. We'll draw the box as well, just for fun. We'll get that going up there around the $30 mark. And if we look where we are now, we're kind of just consolidating right between this resistance and this support. Pretty key level, right? We can see we wick pretty well below that. Not surprisingly, this is actually going to wick right off the previous highs again. And then this is our range. We have a pretty nice clean range over here. So when I look at this price action, this is what I see. We have this attempt to basically flip this area to support, right? We've had a lot of tries to get above, right? Failure, come back down. And then eventually, right around here, we were able to trade into this area as support. You know, we got a lot of wicks down, price refuses to break down. And the problem is, if we look at this carefully, there's no follow through, right? So you have this massive 4-hour candle. So this sweeps all these lows, right? You've taken out all these stop losses and you use them all for fuel. You got to 27.6 and there's just nothing there. And the price just nukes straight down. I mean, we can also draw this area, I guess, as resistance as well. But it's not really so significant. The big thing to me is this. It's the loss of this massive level. And if we look at what happened, right? So the price comes all the way back down. And then we wick off this guy over here. This makes sense, right? This is a pretty major order block. You know, we're sitting on a ton of previous highs here. I mean, there's some wicks. It's not the most clean price action, but, right, this would probably line up pretty well. Here's what I see. You have this attempt to trade back into resistance and look at the follow through, right? There is no follow through. This thing just gets bought back immediately down, right? You wick into these previous highs, or sorry, yeah, this previous support level pretty much. You don't even get all the way back up to these wicks and the price just moves down, right? Can we make a higher low and kind of flip this area over here? I think it's possible. But until you really get above this, there's nothing really to look at here. I mean, look, you've held this as support. If you break down from here, you're just going back to the lows. I mean, there's zero doubt. So pretty key inflection point for this. I'm not too interested in longing. What I want to see happen here is we put in a higher low here, right? Right now, we still have bullish market structure. So we've got this guy over here, higher high. And now what we want to see again is a higher low, continuation, and higher. If we don't get that, right, and yeah, there's our higher low, and the market structure shift was basically right here. So this is when we started to see a shift in structure, but until we get above this level, there's nothing really bullish about this. I mean, it looks fine, but you need confirmation by flipping this level. So on this guy, I'd be cautious. I'm not running to long this thing. And again, look, you had this massive wick and zero follow through, right? You swept all the way into this demand and the price just bled straight out. And yes, now you've kind of caught a bid. You were able to flip this level here. The question is, can this hold? And I kind of think it will, but there's just no real trade set up here. So we'll move on to something like Sol. This one's a bit more interesting to me. So let's look at this guy. Let's look at this guy together. It's actually a very similar picture. And this one kind of got me off guard. So I got smoked on this trade. I'm sure you guys were there. And I'll show you guys why. Here's your key level, right? You've got these wicks down here. And what we're going to see is something like this. So you have, I'm going to put this on a 4-hour chart just so it's a bit cleaner. You have, this is obviously support, right? this whole, we're going to call this whole block, right? Here's your resistance. You try to flip it to support. You trade back down again, and you can't take these lows. And then once again, you trade all the way back down into here, and the price just refuses to break. So what got me was I thought we'd flip this as support, right? I longed around here. I assumed there'd be immediate follow through. And if you guys look, the reason is because we took out all these stop losses. Pretty much. I mean, not all of them, but you pretty much wicked this all the way back to the lows. Thought we'd get some follow through. And if you guys look, once again, there wasn't any follow through. This wick is disgusting. When you see stuff like this, it is extremely bad sign. Why? I mean, let's draw the boxes again, guys. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to draw the boxes. And if we look, there's our support. We traded all the way back into resistance. And again, we just couldn't get a close above, and we just nuked straight through it. And if we zoom in a bit, let's look what happened, right? So you trade above support, you attempt to flip it, nuke through, and then this thing just has no chance of holding. I mean, think about it, guys. Why would this hold a second time after the price just bleeds right back into it? And then sure enough, we just nuke all the way through. Now, where do we catch a bid? Right here, right? Right off these highs. I mean, you could say it's over here if you wanted. Somewhere in here. This makes sense. This is logical support. And now we're kind of trading back inside the range. So to me, this guy looks fine. What I want to see again is just something like this, where we kind of flip this area and we make another attempt to trade back in here. If we can't do that, this is going to go much lower. I mean, I don't think there's any chance this bounces off this. I would imagine we're going to go all the way down to 151. And I would personally say much lower. I don't really think this is going to happen, but you don't want to see the price give back this kind of expansion, right? You've got all this expansion, and to just give this back in one candle, not a good look. Not a good look at all. We'll look at Stark very quickly. This guy looks excellent still. I gave this out as a spot trade a while ago. If you guys look, this was the key level we marked out, and this thing has just flipped support. Pretty sure this is just going to run. There's pretty much no doubt to me. No breaking down. Bitcoin is doing whatever, and this thing has infinite strength, right? We can look at the Stark BTC chart. Not really a point, though. This thing, very strong. Once again, look. See the difference, guys? See, you wicked all the way through, right? You took all these stops, but, big thing, there was follow through. The price did not give it all back, and now you're still trading at the high. So I gave this as a spot trade a while ago. It's still under trading table. I still think you hold this, and at the very least, you target 1.38, right? You're just going to target this range high because it will get there. Pretty much utmost confidence this thing will do something like this. What we do from there, I don't really know. I want to try to speed this video up because I don't want to take too long. We can look at fetch as well. This thing to me, tough to judge. Really tough to judge. I don't know where this goes. You have a very obvious support level. I'll draw this one out as well. Let's take a look. Right, and that would be this guy over here. All these previous highs. And if we draw this out, it's just not really going anywhere. I mean, you wicked it, you gave it all back, and then you're just kind of trading in here. There's no strength, but there's also no weakness, right? There's really not much to do. I mean, here's your support, right? Pretty clean level. And again, you're not really making higher highs or higher lows. It's just kind of a range. So for me, not much to do here. If we trade above here, we'll probably go back up to there eventually. Obviously, this level is resistance. It would be just all of these wicks over there. You can draw that out. And it's going to make sense, right? We just cannot get a strong close above the white line. You guys can see we try to flip the white line to support, right? And we just nuke straight through it again. So what this thing will do, I'm really not sure. This thing is just ridiculous. Near is going to go up only. $10 just a matter of time. I don't know what kind of crack this thing is smoking, but I would like some. This thing is absolutely awesome. There is no chill. There is no down. There is no mercy. So, yeah, if you want to get generational wealth, just buy near. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but it seems to be invincible. I mean, look at this chart, right? Sure, you swept the key level, right? You swept this level, but look, immediate buyback. There, you don't give back the wick. You don't give that back at all. We could look at near BTC charts, but I don't want to get too much into that because it's already been 10 minutes and I feel like I'm wasting everyone's time. Look at Bitcoin really quick. This is very obvious, right? You guys can see what I'm trying to do. We're marking out 691, 698, whatever, kind of as these previous supports, previous highs. And again, here was your attempt to flip it, right? You have this one, I'll go back to the 4-hour chart really quickly. So you're trading all along this block. You kind of trade up and then just nuke straight through. And what happens, right? Price, this is why I TP'd my longs at 6.9 or whatever, 6.82 the other day. Price is kind of just trading into this range, but again, we cannot get a close inside of this level. And if we look, this level is pretty strong, right? This is this massive wick again, and this is the thing that nukes us. Again, we try to flip it to support, nukes right through. We've been flirting with this level almost for weeks now, right? Again, strong wick, nuke through, strong reaction, no follow through. This thing is hard to judge. I don't really think there's much of a trade here. You can try to long this if we start to get closes back inside here, but I don't really see much to do. I really don't. And finally, something like Litecoin, another trade that I got burned on. Again, same problem as Solana. You can see exactly where I longed and why. It was this candle over here. I thought there would be follow through, but absolutely not. They retest it and they kind of take out these stops up here, nuke straight through. And once again, right, you've swept into these logical levels of demand, right? This is clearly support. I can draw the box, but I think this is kind of obvious, right? I'm not going to even bother, but this would be the level over there. You can kind of see how the price is flirting with this area. And if we extend this all the way over, it's going to fill this wick exactly, right? So really, really key level. If we can get a close above 855.6, whatever, you start getting daily closes above this, and this thing will run pretty far. I think you'll see at least 90 bucks. So gonna stop this here. Definitely talked a bit too much, I think, but yeah, gonna move on to some other stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed. It's a bit long, and I will see you soon.